China. A vast and dynamic land of contrasts, where ancient traditions meet modern innovation. Covering a vast expanse in East Asia, China is not only the largest country in the region, but also one of the world's most populous nations, second only to India, according to the United Nations. With 33 administrative units directly under the central government, China's diverse landscape is matched only by its rich cultural tapestry. From the bustling streets of Beijing to the vibrant ports of Shanghai, each city offers a unique glimpse into China's past and present. But it's not just the cities that captivate. China's natural beauty is equally astounding. From the majestic peaks of the Himalayas to the sun-kissed beaches of the south, the country's diverse geography is home to a staggering array of plant and animal species. With a history spanning over 4 millennia, China's cultural heritage is deeply ingrained in every aspect of daily life. And while the country has undergone significant changes over the centuries, the concept of the province, or Sheng, remains a cornerstone of Chinese identity, reflecting both its political and cultural significance. Join us as we embark on a journey through the heart of the Middle Kingdom, exploring its rich history, vibrant culture, and boundless natural beauty. From the ancient wonders of the Great Wall to the modern marvels of Shanghai, there's no shortage of wonders to discover in this fascinating and enigmatic country. Welcome to China. Let's dive in and uncover its many secrets together. In the People's Republic of China, rural society comprises less than half of the population, approximately 45%, and exhibits a diverse range of living standards and livelihoods. Rural life differs significantly from urban life, with disparities observed between southern and coastal regions, which are experiencing development akin to urban economies, and northwest and western regions, where rural society is often perceived as underdeveloped and rudimentary. Challenges such as limited access to basic amenities like running water and transportation persist in these areas. The majority of rural settlements in China consist of sizable compact villages, except in mountainous terrain where such concentration is impractical. These settlements have historical roots and are influenced by factors such as population growth, historical context, water availability, and defense strategies against bandit attacks in the past. Despite their size, many large villages lack an urban atmosphere, although frequent markets facilitate the exchange of agricultural goods among peasants from neighboring settlements. On the North China Plain, villages are evenly spaced and connected by footpaths and cart tracks. Houses are closely clustered together and typically constructed from sun-dried brick or compacted earth. Many market towns and larger villages are encircled by walls, while the layout and extent of streets vary based on the settlement's size and landscape. In central and southern rural China, rice fields dominate the landscape, with the Yangtze River Delta hosting diverse human settlements ranging from isolated farmsteads to bustling market towns. Villages in Jiangsu Province, particularly those situated south and east of Lake Tai, are generally spaced 1 to 2 miles apart, and in recent decades, many have developed into small towns. Central Chinese villages, notably along the lower Yangtze, are larger and often feature shops, catering not only to locals, but also to nearby dispersed residents. These villages typically revolve around a central market town, acting as a hub for agricultural trade and the distribution of manufactured goods. Communication between villages in this region primarily occurs via boat along an extensive network of waterways, with elegant stone bridges spanning streams and canals adding to the picturesque landscape. In the Chengdu Plain of the Sichuan Basin, a significant portion of the population resides in isolated farmsteads or scattered hamlets surrounded by bamboo groves and broad-leaved trees. Cave dwellings are a distinctive feature of the rural landscape in China, particularly prevalent in regions such as the Loess Plateau, northern Shanxi, western Shaanxi, and southeastern Gansu. These dwellings are commonly found where the thick loess cover and scarcity of timber make traditional construction challenging. Cave dwellings offer natural insulation, keeping them cooler in summer and warmer in winter. The economic reforms initiated in China in the late 1970s had a profound impact on rural settlements. Increased agricultural productivity resulted in a surplus of labor, prompting many rural workers to seek opportunities in urban areas for factory jobs. However, a significant number chose to remain in their villages, contributing to the emergence of rural industrial production known as township enterprises. These enterprises, often engaged in light manufacturing for domestic and export markets, played a pivotal role in transforming numerous villages into semi-urbanized towns. This shift raised living standards for millions of peasants and served as a vital link between urban centers and rural areas, driving rapid economic growth in the countryside. Village life and expressive culture. Traditional village life in China was centered around agricultural activities, rituals and festivals that closely followed seasonal and environmental requirements. Early studies of Chinese village life focused on regions such as Hong Kong and Taiwan, as access to mainland China was limited for Western scholars. A notable compilation of studies on village life in the Hong Kong New Territories is presented by James L. Watson and Ruby S. Watson, 2004, drawing on fieldwork conducted from 1969 to 1997. Similarly, studies on village life in Taiwan can be found in works such as Seaman, 1978, and Ahern and Gates, 1981. However, by the 1980s and 1990s, researchers gained access to mainland China, allowing for fieldwork to be conducted in rural areas. Anthropologists noted a revival of pre-1949 religious and festival practices across rural China in the post-Mao era. Thomas David Dubois conducted extensive research on village life in Kang County, Hebei, from 1997 to 2002, observing the pervasive influence of religion in rural North China. Funerals in rural villages are elaborate affairs, often lasting for days and involving thousands of people in intricate funeral rituals. In the Reform era post-1978, thousands of temples were reconstructed at the village and county levels in China. These temples serve not only as places of religious activity, but also as centers for entertainment and festival occasions. According to Adam Yuet Chow, who conducted research on the Dragon King Temple in rural Shanbei in northern China, temples were hubs for various entertainments, including folk operas, dance troupes, storytellers, and musicians. Chow further asserts that temple associations have played a significant role in expanding folk cultural space and the agrarian public sphere in contemporary China, fostering good community relations and providing mutual assistance in times of need. Studies by Dean, 1993, on the revival of Taoist sacrifices in Fujian emphasize the pivotal role of temples in the economic, political, and social life of villages. Additionally, David Johnson's research highlights the close relationship between village temple opera and territorial units known as shi, suggesting that village-level communal rituals represent the core values and beliefs of ordinary people. In the contemporary era, particularly post-1978, village administrators, including Communist Party officials, often play a significant role in overseeing village temple activities, as noted by Tsai, 2007. However, other aspects of village culture, such as performances by itinerant folk musicians, are subject to minimal state regulation, as indicated by Jones, 2009. These folk musicians not only provide entertainment, but also fulfill ritual roles within the community. Jones distinguishes between the institutional role of temple Buddhist and Taoist monks and the more diffused activities of lay Buddhist and Taoist ritual practitioners, many of whom are ordinary peasants involved in life cycle and calendrical ceremonies. Remarkably talented rural singers may adapt their repertoire to appeal to both elite and popular audiences, as suggested by Gibbs, 2018. In border areas, informal and often clandestine song traditions contribute to the preservation of ethnic identities. For example, Davis, 2005, explores the revival of song and storytelling traditions among the Tailu people of Sipsongpana, Yunnan. Village rituals, expressive culture, and festival activities reflect the villagers' ongoing struggle with their local environment. Fei Xiaotong, a renowned Chinese anthropologist, documented village life in the lower Yangtze Delta region in the 1920s and observed how villagers conducted religious ceremonies and rituals in response to challenges such as droughts, floods, and locusts. Fei, 2010. For a comprehensive study of the ritual and expressive culture associated with rice cultivation in this region, Jiang Bin's work, 1996, is invaluable. In rice-growing regions like those along the shores of Lake Tai in Jiangsu province, villagers hold beliefs deeply intertwined with their agricultural practices. According to McLaren, 2022, rice cultivators view the seedlings as transforming from a young girl to a pregnant wife, and finally, to a rice mother bearing child grains. Lake Tai's songs and stories narrate the tale of a local hero who brought back the art of rice growing from a paradisal land to his home village, McLaren, 2022. Similarly, the songs of the Kam people of Guizhou, as analyzed by Ingram, 2011, reflect local environmental management and agricultural practices, serving as instructional aids in retaining traditional farming techniques. Drought poses a significant challenge for villagers living in regions near the Yellow River, leading them to venerate the Dragon King for his ability to dispense rain and alleviate drought, as explored by Chow, 2006. Ritual operas, such as those performed in Aoshi, Shanxi, serve multiple purposes, including invoking rain during droughts, warding off disease, preventing fires, and celebrating the new year, as documented by Johnson, 2009. The resurgence of popular folk practices and beliefs after 1980 can be attributed largely to the limited economic progress in much of rural China during the High Socialist period. As noted by Stephen Jones, the persistence of pre-communist belief systems, such as the worship of gods and ceremonial practices, in regions like Shanbei can be partially linked to the failure of modern governments to significantly alter the socio-economic landscape. Despite some areas experiencing economic growth since the 1980s, much of rural China remains predominantly agrarian and economically disadvantaged, leading to a continued reliance on divine blessings for sustenance and prosperity. Urbanization in China. China has undergone a remarkable transformation in its urbanization trends over the past few decades. Currently, more than half of China's population resides in urban areas, a substantial increase from less than 1/4 in 1975. While the urban-rural proportion remains lower compared to more industrialized nations, the sheer number of urban residents is staggering, akin to the total population of North America. China boasts over 4 dozen cities with populations exceeding 1 million, and several dozen more with populations ranging between 500,000 and 1 million. The geographical distribution of these large cities mirrors the national population distribution, with dense concentrations in the eastern coastal provinces, significant numbers in the central provinces, and relatively fewer in the western regions. This urbanization trend underscores China's evolving demographic landscape and its growing importance as a global urban powerhouse. Urbanization in China accelerated significantly following the implementation of the Reform and Opening Policy. By the close of 2023, China had achieved an urbanization rate of 66.2%, with projections indicating a further increase to 75–80% by 2035. This rapid urbanization has been driven by ongoing state initiatives encompassing municipal expansion, rural to urban migration, and the process of agricultural industrialization, which has released a growing pool of previously rural labor for urban employment. As of at least 2023, the state has emphasized the importance of urbanizing rural populations to foster a more equitable society and enhance society's relationship with nature and the environment. According to Bai et al., urban systems exhibit 5 key characteristics. Firstly, urban areas engage in an open exchange of resources with the world outside their boundaries. For instance, food produced on farms or in gardens is transported into cities for consumption in restaurants or sale at grocery stores. Secondly, cities are described as complex, self-organizing, adaptive, and constantly evolving entities. They host diverse populations and businesses, experiencing continual shifts in demographics and spatial organization. People often gravitate towards others with similar interests or life goals, fostering social networks and community resilience. Thirdly, urban areas are governed by multiple agencies that operate both within and beyond their borders, serving local residents while also engaging in interactions with external entities. Fourthly, cities are inherently embedded within larger structures, such as national governments, and are not independent entities separate from the overarching political and social framework. Lastly, urbanization can lead to both intended and unintended consequences, with significant environmental impacts being one of the major unintended outcomes of urban growth. Environmental impact. Urban areas in China exhibit higher energy consumption compared to rural areas, contributing to an escalation in carbon emissions that outpaces the capacity of urban areas to mitigate them effectively. This trend has led to an increase in carbon intensity within urban centers. Research conducted by Bai et al. Emphasizes the significant focus on environmental changes in cities and their repercussions. However, in recent years, there has been a shift towards exploring solutions to address urban environmental challenges, rather than solely emphasizing the problems. China's urbanization model has undergone a transformation, transitioning from a traditional approach centered on growth rate to a new paradigm prioritizing quality improvement. This shift reflects a broader recognition of the need for sustainable and efficient urban development practices in response to the environmental and social challenges associated with rapid urbanization. The rapid urbanization in China has led to the expansion of urban agglomerations, UAs, with profound implications for regional climate and environmental sustainability. Statistical analysis reveals a substantial urbanization effect, contributing to a reduction in extreme temperatures and precipitation events across various climate groups. Most urban areas experience a significant impact of urbanization on both hot and cold extreme temperatures, except for arid and high-latitude regions where the opposite pattern is observed. Approximately 30% of the total change in extreme temperature events in the core urban areas of 20 UAs can be attributed to urbanization. However, urbanization has more varied effects on extreme precipitation indexes, leading to regional discrepancies. Coastal areas tend to experience weakened extreme precipitation events, while central and western China see intensified precipitation. This results in more frequent and intense precipitation in inland central western UAs and less frequent and intense precipitation in coastal areas. Northeastern China, Dongbei, has undergone rapid urbanization in recent decades, compounded by its status as the country's largest old industrial base. Understanding the effects of urbanization on temperature changes in this region is crucial for accurately predicting climate change in China. Historical climate data analysis reveals a significant increase in minimum temperatures, Tmin over northeast China, from 1960 to 1989, followed by a period of stability from 1990 to 2016. This indicates that urbanization is contributing to the rise in Tmin mean temperature in northeast China, primarily due to the warming effect of urban development. Rapid urbanization in China is profoundly influencing climate change and the country's carbon emissions. A recent study focused on estimating CO2 emissions related to residential energy consumption in urban households across 64 representative cities in China, Africa, and Europe from 2006 to 2013. Utilizing an augmented stochastic impacts by regression on population, affluence, and technology, STIRPAT model, the study examined the relationship between urbanization and residential CO2 emissions over this period using two-stage least squares, 2SLS. Results indicate a positive trend in average residential CO2 emissions across the studied areas, rising from 2.85 to 5.67 million tons of CO2 between 2006 and 2013. Cities with municipal or capital status are more likely to emit CO2 emissions from residential areas compared to those without such status. The burgeoning urban populations exert a clear influence on residential CO2 emissions, with factors such as population size, GDP per capita, city compactness, and overall urbanization level playing significant roles. Even after surpassing the 75% urban population share mark in China's urban agglomerations, the effect of population share on CO2 emissions from residential buildings remains positive. Interestingly, residential CO2 emissions in the United States are negatively impacted by GDP growth. These findings underscore the importance of well-organized urban expansion strategies, urging policymakers in China to closely monitor urbanization patterns and develop guidelines to facilitate eco-urbanization. Encouraging green development and promoting sustainable lifestyles will be crucial in steering China towards a more environmentally friendly urban future. Megacities and urban landscapes. Beijing, China's sprawling capital, serves as the political, cultural, and historical heart of the nation. Its urban landscape is a juxtaposition of ancient landmarks and modern infrastructure. The iconic Forbidden City, with its centuries-old palaces and courtyards, stands in stark contrast to the towering skyscrapers of the Central Business District, CBD. Shanghai, known as the Pearl of the Orient, is a symbol of China's rapid economic development and urbanization. The skyline of Pudong, with its iconic Oriental Pearl Tower and Shanghai Tower, reflects the city's status as a global financial center. Guangzhou, situated in the Pearl River Delta, is a vibrant metropolis teeming with life. Its urban landscape is characterized by a blend of historic architecture, such as the Canton Tower and the Chen Clan Ancestral Hall, and modern marvels like the Guangzhou International Finance Center, skyscrapers, bustling streets, and modern infrastructure. The urban skylines of Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou are dominated by soaring skyscrapers that punctuate the skyline. In Beijing's CBD, landmarks like the China World Trade Center and the CCTV headquarters tower epitomize the city's modernity and economic prowess. Shanghai's Lujiazui Financial District boasts some of the tallest skyscrapers in the world, including the Shanghai World Financial Center and the Jinmao Tower. Guangzhou's skyline is equally impressive, with the Canton Tower and the Guangzhou International Finance Center standing as symbols of the city's rapid development. Beyond the skyscrapers, the streets of these megacities bustle with activity, as millions of residents go about their daily routines. Modern infrastructure, including extensive subway systems, highways, and high-speed rail networks, facilitates the seamless flow of people and goods throughout the urban centers. Daily routines, work culture, and technological advancements. Life in Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou is characterized by a fast-paced rhythm dictated by work, leisure, and urban living. In Beijing, the day often begins with morning Tai Chi sessions in parks or bustling breakfast markets. Shanghai's residents may start their day with a stroll along the Bund before heading to work in the city's financial district. In Guangzhou, locals gather in traditional tea houses or street markets to start their day before tackling their work schedules. The work culture in these megacities is marked by a strong emphasis on innovation, entrepreneurship, and competition. Technological advancements play a significant role in shaping daily life, with cashless payment systems, high-speed internet, and cutting-edge research and development driving progress and innovation. The economy in China. China boasts an upper-middle income, developing, mixed socialist market economy, characterized by industrial policies and strategic 5-year plans. It stands as the world's second-largest economy by nominal GDP, trailing only behind the United States, and has been the largest economy since 2016 when measured by purchasing power parity, PPP. Due to currency exchange rate volatility, China's GDP, when measured in dollars, experiences sharp fluctuations. In terms of PPP, China accounted for 19% of the global economy in 2022, and around 18% in nominal terms. Historically, China held a prominent economic position for the majority of the past 2 millennia. The economic landscape comprises public sector enterprises, state-owned enterprises, SOEs, mixed ownership enterprises, a substantial domestic private sector, and openness to foreign businesses. Private investment and exports serve as primary drivers of economic growth, with an increasing emphasis on domestic consumption by the Chinese government. China stands as the world's largest manufacturing economy and exporter of goods, alongside being the fastest-growing consumer market and the second-largest importer of goods. Additionally, it dominates global consumption of numerous commodities, accounting for approximately half of global metals consumption. While it is a net importer of services, China holds the title of the largest trading nation globally and plays a crucial role in international trade. As of 2020, China was the largest recipient of foreign direct investment, although recent trends have seen a sharp decline. It also ranks second in outward foreign direct investment. Despite its economic prowess, China faces significant income and wealth inequality, housing one of the highest numbers of billionaires and millionaires globally. Its foreign exchange reserves, totaling $3.1 trillion, further solidify its economic position, with additional reserves held by state-owned commercial banks. China experienced a mild economic slowdown during the 2007-2008 financial crisis, but recovered through a massive stimulus package. However, recent measures, such as the imposition of the 3 red lines on developer borrowing, have raised concerns regarding the severity of China's real estate crisis. With a staggering 778 million workers, China boasts the world's largest labor force as of 2020, ranking 28th on the Global Competitiveness Report. Notably, China's innovation prowess is underscored by its ranking of 11th globally and 3rd in the Asia and Oceania region, according to the Global Innovation Index 2022. Remarkably, it stands as the only middle-income economy and newly industrialized economy among the top 30 innovators. Often recognized among the world's most innovative nations, China leads several metrics of global patent filings. Furthermore, China possesses the second largest financial assets globally, valued at $17.9 trillion in 2021. Its prowess extends to science and technology clusters, with 2 of the global top 5 clusters located in Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Guangzhou, and Beijing. As of March 2022, China boasts over 500 million 5G users and 1.45 million installed base stations. In terms of trade, mainland China's principal trading partners in 2022 include the European Union, United States, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Australia, Malaysia, and Russia. China's economic landscape is further shaped by its participation in free trade agreements, including the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, the largest trade bloc in history. While often hailed as the powerhouse of manufacturing or the factory of the world, exports contribute a relatively modest 18.5% to China's economy as of 2020. Noteworthy is China's corporate landscape, with 142 of the world's 500 largest companies headquartered within its borders. Additionally, China hosts 4 of the world's top 10 most competitive financial centers and 3 of the world's 10 largest stock exchanges. Despite its economic prowess, China faces challenges related to climate change, both as a contributor to rising global greenhouse gas emissions and as a nation vulnerable to its adverse impacts. Regional economies. China's transportation infrastructure, coupled with variations in natural and human resources and industrial development, has led to significant economic disparities across its regions. Shenzhen, in particular, has garnered attention as the potential successor to Silicon Valley due to its rapid economic development. Coastal provinces have generally experienced swifter economic growth compared to inland regions, resulting in considerable disparities in per capita income. The Yangtze Delta in East China, the Pearl River Delta in South China, and the Jing-Jin-Ji region in North China stand out as the 3 wealthiest regions. The accelerated growth of these areas is expected to exert a substantial impact on the Asian regional economy overall. Consequently, Chinese government policies aim to address barriers to growth in these prosperous regions. Projections indicate that by 2035, China's 4 cities, Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, are poised to rank among the world's top 10 largest cities by nominal GDP, according to a report by Oxford Economics. Income and wealth. According to Credit Suisse, China has held the distinction of having the world's largest middle-class population since 2015. As of 2020, China boasted 400 million middle-income individuals, a figure projected to surge to 1.2 billion by 2027, constituting 1/4 of the global total. A 2021 Pew Research Center survey revealed the distribution of income among Chinese citizens. 23 million individuals earned a per capita daily income exceeding $50. 242 million fell within the $20.50 per day range. 493 million earned between $10, $20, 641 million earned $2.10 per day, and 4 million earned less than $2 per day. These figures are denominated in international dollars based on 2011 purchasing power parity values. In 2022, the National Bureau of Statistics disclosed that China's average disposable income per capita stood at 36,883 yen, of which 20,590 yen was derived from wages and salaries, 6,175 yen from net business income, 3,227 yen from net property income, and 6,892 yen from net transfer income. As of April 2023, China ranked second globally in terms of the total number of billionaires and millionaires, following the United States. The country boasted 495 billionaires and 6.2 million millionaires in 2022. According to the Hurun Global Rich Report in 2020, China surpassed both the US and India in terms of the highest number of billionaires. By March 2021, the number of billionaires in China reached 1,058, amassing a combined wealth of $4.5 trillion. The 2019 Global Wealth Report by Credit Suisse Group indicated that China had surpassed the US in the wealth of the top 10% of the global population. Essentially, as of 2019, 100 million Chinese individuals ranked among the top 10% wealthiest in the world, with a net personal wealth of at least $110,000. In 2021, China was home to 6 of the world's top 10 cities with the highest number of billionaires, including Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Hangzhou, and Guangzhou. Notably, China had 85 female billionaires as of January 2021, constituting 2/3 of the global total. The income disparity between rural and urban residents in China remains significant, with the average income of a rural resident amounting to only 30% of that earned by their urban counterparts. This gap is compounded by the migration of rural youth to cities in pursuit of higher-paying employment opportunities, leaving behind an aging rural population engaged in small-scale agriculture to make ends meet, with limited earning potential. Former Chinese Premier Li Keqiang highlighted in 2020 that approximately 600 million Chinese individuals survive on or below 1,000 yuan per month, equivalent to around $143 at a conversion rate of 7 yuan to the dollar. This translates to an annual income of $5,150 for a family of 3 at this income level. Moreover, the discrepancy in income reflects disparities in retirement benefits, with urban retirees typically receiving significantly higher monthly payments compared to their rural counterparts. Despite these challenges, China maintains its status as the world's largest saving country, with domestic saving, comprising savings from households, businesses, and governments, ranking highest globally as of at least 2022. Wages. In 1979-1980, significant reforms were implemented by the state in Chinese factories, which included wage increases for workers. However, these wage hikes were swiftly offset by a sharp rise in inflation rates, ranging from 6% to 7%. Additionally, the reforms led to the dismantling of the iron rice bowl system, resulting in increased unemployment across the economy, with approximately 20 million people left jobless during this period. From 2004 to 2007, urban wages experienced a rapid surge, growing at a remarkable rate of 13% to 19% annually, with average wages reaching nearly $200 per month by 2007. By 2016, workers engaged in manufacturing goods for export were earning an average monthly wage of $424. This substantial increase in wages, coupled with other rising costs associated with conducting business in China, effectively narrowed the cost advantage gap between China and developed economies. To address wage disparities and ensure fair compensation for workers, a law was approved in February 2013, mandating a nationwide minimum wage set at 40% of the average urban salaries. This minimum wage policy was slated for full implementation by 2015, aiming to provide more equitable compensation standards across different sectors and regions of the country. External trade. International trade plays a crucial role in China's economy, with the country becoming the world's largest exporter in 2010 and maintaining this position as of at least 2023. China has established free trade agreements with numerous nations, including ASEAN, Australia, South Korea, and Switzerland, among others, and has emerged as the largest trading partner for over 120 countries by 2020. During the Cold War, a significant portion of China's trade with the Third World was supported through grants, credits, and other forms of assistance, but this diminished after Mao Zedong's death in 1976. Economic reforms initiated in the late 1970s aimed to decentralize China's foreign trade system and integrate it into the global trading network. China's accession to the World Trade Organization in 2001 marked a significant milestone following 16 years of negotiations, making it the longest negotiation process in the history of the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. Despite its WTO membership, concerns persist among U.S. exporters regarding fair market access due to China's restrictive trade policies and export restrictions. However, China has pledged to reduce tariffs further and remove non-tariff barriers for global investors, signaling its commitment to promoting international trade and investment. China's global trade volume exceeded $6 trillion in 2021, reflecting its growing significance in the global economy. Chinese culture. Chinese culture, known as Zhonghua Wenhua in simplified Chinese and Zhonghua Wenhua in traditional Chinese, stands as one of the world's oldest and most enduring cultures, with roots dating back thousands of years. Extending across a vast geographical area in East Asia, including the Sinosphere in its entirety, Chinese culture is incredibly diverse, with customs and traditions varying significantly from county to county, province to province, and city to city. Throughout history, the terms China and the geographical landmass it encompasses have evolved, eventually culminating in the modern-day usage of the term China. Chinese civilization holds a central position in the cultural landscape of East Asia, historically regarded as a dominant cultural force in the region. As one of the earliest ancient civilizations, China has exerted a profound influence on the philosophy, ethics, etiquette, and traditions of Asia as a whole. Elements of Chinese culture such as Chinese characters, ceramics, architecture, music, dance, literature, martial arts, cuisine, arts, philosophy, etiquette, religion, politics, and history have left an indelible mark on the global stage. Furthermore, Chinese traditions and festivals are widely celebrated, preserved, and practiced by people from diverse cultural backgrounds around the world, underscoring the enduring legacy and universal appeal of Chinese culture. Identity. During the Zhou dynasty, the Chinese government classified Chinese people into four main classes: the gentry, farmers, craftsmen, and merchants. Among these, the gentry and farmers were considered the two primary classes, while merchants and craftsmen were grouped into the two minor classes. In theory, aside from the emperor's position, hereditary status did not play a significant role. The Han Chinese, China's predominant ethnic group, are an East Asia ethnic group and nation, constituting approximately 92% of China's population, as well as significant percentages in Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, and worldwide. With over 1.3 billion people, they are the largest ethnic group globally. In contemporary China, there are officially recognized 56 ethnic groups. Throughout Chinese history, various non-Han ethnicities, such as Indo-Iranians, assimilated into Han Chinese culture, while others maintained their distinct identities or gradually disappeared. Despite these interactions, the Han Chinese majority has preserved unique linguistic and regional cultural traditions over time. The term Zhonghua Minzu has been used to convey the concept of Chinese nationalism, encompassing diverse ethnic groups under a unified Chinese identity. Family names play a significant role in maintaining traditional identity within the Han Chinese community. Social structure. Since the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors era, some form of Chinese monarchy has consistently held the highest position of authority. Throughout different periods of history, various titles have been used to denote positions within society. However, conceptually, each imperial or feudal period shares similarities, with government and military officials occupying the highest ranks in the hierarchy, while the rest of the population abides by regular Chinese law. From the late Zhou dynasty, 1046–256 BCE, onward, traditional Chinese society adhered to a hierarchical system of socio-economic classes known as the Four Occupations. This system categorized individuals into 4 main groups: scholars, farmers, artisans, and merchants, each with distinct roles and responsibilities within society. The Four Occupations system did not encompass all social groups, and over time, the distinctions between these groups became less clear, especially with the commercialization of Chinese culture during the Song dynasty, 960–1279 CE. Education in ancient China has a long history, dating back to at least the Sui dynasty, 581–618 CE. During this time, individuals prepared for imperial examinations, and successful candidates were appointed to government positions as scholar bureaucrats. This system created a meritocratic society, although access to success was primarily available to affluent males who could afford test preparation. Imperial examinations required applicants to write essays and demonstrate proficiency in the Confucian classics. Those who passed the highest level of these exams attained the esteemed position of jinshi, becoming elite scholar officials. The mythology surrounding the imperial examinations became a significant cultural element in Chinese society. Trades and crafts were typically taught by a master craftsman known as a shifu. During the Han Dynasty, the female historian Ban Zhao wrote Lessons for Women, which outlined the 4 virtues that women were expected to uphold. Scholars such as Zhu Xi and Cheng Yi further elaborated on these teachings. Chinese marriage customs and Taoist sexual practices are among the rituals and customs that were prevalent in society. With the emergence of European economic and military dominance in the mid-19th century, alternative systems of social and political organization gained traction in China. Some reformers outright rejected China's traditional cultural heritage, while others advocated for a synthesis of Chinese and European influences. The 20th century history of China can be characterized by a series of experiments with novel social, political, and economic structures aimed at revitalizing the nation following the collapse of the dynastic order. Spiritual values. Spiritual practices in China draw heavily from traditions such as Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. There is ongoing debate regarding the relative influence of each tradition, with other practices like Neo-Confucianism also playing a significant role. Concepts such as reincarnation and rebirth serve as reminders of the connection between life and the afterlife. In Chinese business culture, the concept of guanxi, emphasizing the importance of relationships over strict adherence to rules, is widely acknowledged. Within the spiritual realm, various deities are venerated, with figures like Guan Yin, the Jade Emperor, and Buddha holding prominent positions. Chinese Buddhism has not only influenced spiritual beliefs, but has also left a profound impact on art, literature, and philosophy. The translation of numerous Buddhist scriptures into Chinese, along with the incorporation of these translations into a printed canon, facilitated the spread of Buddhism throughout China. Additionally, Chinese Buddhism reflects a dynamic interaction between Indian religions, Chinese folk beliefs, and Taoism, further enriching its philosophical and spiritual landscape. Religion. Chinese religion has evolved over millennia, with different dynasties and periods emphasizing various spiritual beliefs and practices. During the Xia and Shang dynasties, worship centered around the supreme god Shangdi, with the king and diviners serving as priests and utilizing oracle bones for divination. With the advent of the Zhou dynasty, religious focus shifted to the broader concept of heaven. Chinese culture is deeply rooted in spiritual beliefs, with a belief in the existence of a spiritual world being widespread. Divination has played a crucial role in seeking answers to questions, and has even served as an alternative to medicine. Folklore has also played a significant role in Chinese spirituality, providing explanations for phenomena that cannot be readily explained. The distinction between myth, religion, and unexplained phenomena is often blurred in Chinese culture, with many stories evolving into traditional Chinese holidays. Additionally, spiritual symbols, such as the door god and imperial guardian lions, have become deeply ingrained in Chinese culture. Alongside the belief in divine beings, there is also a belief in malevolent entities. Practices such as Taoist exorcism, which involves combating creatures like Mogwai and Jiangxi with peachwood swords, have been passed down through generations. Despite the passage of time, some Chinese fortune-telling rituals have endured for thousands of years, undergoing refinement and adaptation to suit changing times and beliefs. Taoism, a philosophical and religious tradition originating from China, emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, which can be translated as the Way. The Tao is seen as the fundamental principle that underlies and encompasses everything in existence. While the concept of the Tao is central to various Chinese philosophical schools, Taoism specifically focuses on it as the source, pattern, and substance of all that exists. One of the distinguishing features of Taoism, compared to Confucianism, is its emphasis on spontaneity, naturalness, and simplicity, rather than rigid rituals and social order. Taoist ethics, which vary among different schools of thought within Taoism, often highlight concepts such as Wu Wei, effortless action, compassion, frugality, and humility. The roots of Taoism can be traced back to at least the 4th century BCE. Early Taoist thought was influenced by the school of Yin-Yang, naturalists, and drew inspiration from ancient texts like the Yi Jing, I Ching, which expounds a philosophical system based on human behavior in accordance with the cycles of nature. Additionally, the legalist philosopher Shen Buhai may have contributed to Taoist thought with his ideas on Wu Wei, or non-action, as a principle of governance. The Tao Te Ching, attributed to the sage Laozi, is considered a foundational text of Taoism. Together with the writings of Zhuangzi, another influential Taoist philosopher, the Tao Te Ching forms the cornerstone of Taoist philosophy and spirituality. Music, instruments, and dancing. Music and dance have been integral parts of Chinese culture since ancient times. The roots of Chinese music can be traced back to the early periods of Chinese civilization, with evidence of a well-developed musical culture dating as far back as the Zhou dynasty, 1122 BCE, 256 BCE. Ritual music, known as Yayue, played a significant role during this time, often accompanied by dance. The earliest written records of Chinese music date back to the time of Confucius, and Yayue pieces from the Zhou dynasty were often associated with specific dances. However, it was during the Tang dynasty, 618–907 CE, that Chinese music experienced a major flourishing, particularly with the popularization of the qin, a 7-stringed plucked instrument. The qin had already played a significant role in earlier periods, but its prominence increased during the Tang dynasty. Chinese musical instruments are diverse and reflect the rich cultural heritage of the country. Some of the most well-known instruments include the gucheng, a zither with movable bridges, guqin, a bridgeless zither, sheng and xiao, vertical flutes, erhu, a 2-stringed fiddle, pipa, a pear-shaped plucked lute, and many others. Dance in China is also a diverse and varied art form, encompassing a wide range of genres from folk dances to performances in opera and ballet. Dance has been used in various contexts, including public celebrations, rituals, and ceremonies. Each of China's 56 officially recognized ethnic groups has its distinct folk dances, adding to the richness and diversity of Chinese dance culture. Some of the most well-known Chinese dances today include the dragon dance and the lion dance, which are often performed during festive occasions and celebrations. Cuisine. Chinese cuisine is an integral part of Chinese culture, with a rich and diverse culinary heritage that reflects the country's vast geographical and cultural diversity. Originating from various regions of China and Chinese communities around the world, Chinese cuisine has had a profound influence on culinary traditions across Asia and beyond. The seasoning and cooking techniques of Chinese cuisine vary greatly among different provinces, influenced by factors such as historical background, ethnic diversity, and geographic features. Ingredients and cooking methods are often tailored to local preferences and the availability of resources, which can range from tropical fruits in the south to hearty grains and vegetables in the north. Throughout history, Chinese cuisine has been shaped by imperial preferences, trade routes, and cultural exchanges with other regions. As a result, Chinese culinary traditions have incorporated ingredients and techniques from diverse cultures, resulting in a rich tapestry of flavors and styles. Some of the most celebrated regional cuisines in China include Sichuan, Cantonese, Hunan, and Shandong cuisines, each known for its distinctive flavors, ingredients, and cooking methods. Additionally, modern Chinese cuisine encompasses a wide range of regional and international influences, resulting in a diverse culinary landscape. Color, aroma, and taste are essential elements of Chinese cuisine, with dishes often praised for their visual appeal, fragrance, and flavor profile. Traditional Chinese cooking emphasizes the use of fresh, seasonal ingredients, precise cooking techniques, and balanced seasoning to create harmonious and flavorful dishes. Chopsticks are the primary eating utensils in Chinese cuisine, symbolizing cultural traditions and etiquette. They are used for cutting, picking up food, and conveying respect for the food and dining experience. Knives are generally not used at the dining table, as they are considered inappropriate. Overall, Chinese cuisine reflects the rich cultural heritage and culinary ingenuity of the Chinese people, making it one of the most diverse and influential culinary traditions in the world. Tea culture. The tradition of drinking tea has deep roots in China, where it originated. Its history spans millennia and is rich and intricate. Tea has been cherished by the Chinese for its diverse qualities. Scholars lauded its medicinal properties, the nobility esteemed it as a symbol of status, and commoners simply savored its flavor. In 2016, archaeological findings from the mausoleum of Emperor Jing of Han in Xi'an provided tangible evidence that tea from the Camellia genus was consumed by Han Dynasty emperors as early as the 2nd century BC. Subsequently, tea gained widespread popularity during the Tang (618–907) and Song (960–1279) dynasties. While tea originated in China during the Tang Dynasty, Chinese tea typically refers to tea leaves processed using methods passed down from ancient times. According to a popular legend, tea was discovered by Chinese Emperor Shen Nong in 2737 BCE. When a leaf from a nearby shrub fell into water, the emperor was boiling. Tea holds a deep significance in Chinese history and culture, considered one of the 7 necessities of life, along with firewood, rice, oil, salt, soy sauce, and vinegar. During the spring and autumn period, Chinese tea was primarily used for medicinal purposes, marking the era when people began to enjoy the extracted juice from chewed tea leaves. Chinese tea culture encompasses the methods of tea preparation and the occasions on which tea is consumed in China. It distinguishes itself from tea cultures in European nations like Britain and other Asian countries, such as Japan, in terms of preparation techniques, flavor profiles, and the contexts in which tea is enjoyed. Tea remains a staple beverage in China, consumed both casually and formally. Beyond its popularity as a drink, tea plays a role in traditional Chinese medicine and cuisine. Green tea, originating in China, stands out as one of the primary varieties of tea. Social dynamics. Social dynamics in China are shaped by a complex interplay of cultural traditions, economic development, and government policies. In this segment, we will delve into 3 key aspects of social dynamics in China: family structure and values, the education system and social mobility, and gender roles and societal norms. Family structure and values. Family plays a central role in Chinese society, and traditional values of filial piety, respect for elders, and loyalty to family are deeply ingrained. The family structure typically revolves around the nuclear family, consisting of parents and their children, although extended family networks also hold significance, especially in rural areas. Elders are revered and hold authority within the family, and decisions are often made collectively, with input from multiple generations. The one-child policy, implemented in the late 20th century to control population growth, has reshaped family dynamics, leading to smaller family sizes and increased pressure on only children to succeed and support their parents in old age. Education system and social mobility. The education system in China is highly competitive and plays a crucial role in social mobility. Academic success is prioritized, and students face intense pressure to excel in standardized tests such as the Gaokao, which determines university admissions. Education is seen as a pathway to upward mobility and a means of achieving success and social status. However, disparities in educational opportunities exist between urban and rural areas, as well as among different socioeconomic groups. The government has implemented various reforms aimed at improving access to education and narrowing the achievement gap, but challenges persist in ensuring equal opportunities for all. Gender roles and societal norms. Gender roles and societal norms in China have undergone significant changes in recent decades, influenced by factors such as urbanization, economic development, and government policies. While traditional Confucian values emphasize hierarchical gender roles, modernization has brought greater gender equality in many aspects of life. Women have made strides in education and employment, although gender disparities persist, particularly in leadership positions and wage equality. Government policies, such as the two-child policy introduced in 2016, aim to address demographic challenges and promote gender equality by easing restrictions on family size and enhancing support for working mothers. Despite progress, traditional gender norms and stereotypes continue to shape social expectations and behaviors, highlighting the ongoing complexities of gender dynamics in Chinese society. Future outlook. As China continues to navigate the complexities of the 21st century, it faces a multitude of challenges and opportunities that will shape its future trajectory. Challenges and opportunities. China's rapid economic development has led to environmental challenges such as pollution, deforestation, and habitat destruction. Addressing these environmental issues while maintaining economic growth presents a significant challenge. Additionally, China faces demographic challenges due to an aging population and gender imbalance resulting from the one-child policy. Balancing economic growth with social stability and equity will be crucial in the coming years. However, China also has vast opportunities, particularly in technology, innovation, and sustainable development. With a growing emphasis on renewable energy, green technology, and sustainable practices, China has the potential to lead the world in addressing climate change and environmental degradation. Furthermore, China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, presents opportunities for infrastructure development and economic cooperation with countries across Asia, Africa, and Europe, potentially reshaping global trade and geopolitics. Technological advancements and sustainability efforts. China is at the forefront of technological innovation, with significant investments in artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, and renewable energy. The government's Made in China 2025 initiative aims to transform China into a global leader in advanced manufacturing and technology. Moreover, China's commitment to sustainability is evident in initiatives such as the Green Belt and Road, which promotes environmentally friendly infrastructure projects, and the Paris Agreement, which aims to reduce carbon emissions. With advancements in clean energy, smart cities, and green transportation, China is positioning itself as a leader in sustainable development. As we conclude our exploration of Chinese culture, it becomes evident that its richness and complexity stem from millennia of history, tradition, and innovation. From the ancient practices of Taoism and Confucianism to the enduring legacy of Chinese cuisine and tea culture, every aspect of Chinese life reflects a deep connection to the past and a continuous evolution into the future. Through the ups and downs of dynastic rule, periods of prosperity and turmoil, Chinese civilization has persevered, leaving an indelible mark on the world. From the majestic architecture of the Forbidden City to the intricate melodies of traditional music, from the profound wisdom of ancient texts to the vibrant colors of Chinese art, the depth and breadth of Chinese culture captivates and inspires. As we move forward, let us remember the lessons of history, the values of harmony and balance, and the spirit of resilience that define the essence of Chinese culture. May we continue to appreciate and celebrate the rich tapestry of traditions that have shaped one of the world's oldest and most enduring civilizations. Thanks for watching our exploration of China's rich culture and history. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into countries around the world. Don't miss out on our future videos. Hit that subscribe button now.